From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Maybe you've tried yoga and found it's not for you. Maybe you tried foam stress balls or 100 other ways to unplug or relax. Today, we're talking about a practice that uses nature and the five senses to help people slow down and reset. It's called forest bathing, and it has nothing to do with water or a bathtub. It's a restorative practice with roots in Japan that sends people into the woods to immerse themselves in nature. My guest is a forest bathing guide who takes clients into natural areas in Colorado for 3-hour sessions. Darlene Rooney Keller lives in Longmont, and her business is Nature Heals Forest Therapy. We asked for an introduction to forest bathing so you can try it on your own. She talked with me last fall about why she finds it restorative even in colder weather. We're listening back to that conversation today. Let's talk about one of the first activities that you like to do when you head into nature for a session with a client. You'll ask participants to look around and notice what's moving, whether it's clouds drifting by or leaves falling from tree branches. Why is this a potent way to connect with nature?
This is a way of, again, just recognizing and feeling and noticing what's around us. Oftentimes when we're in nature, we are exercising or chatting with our friends or walking our dogs, and we can be distracted.
Sure.
And it's a wonderful thing to go out into nature and exercise and be with our friends and have time outdoors. But when we're practicing forest bathing, it's awakening all of the natural world that's around us that we may not notice when we're distracted. So this simple invitation of noticing what's in motion, what's moving around us, can really bring us to that present moment of seeing and feeling on our skin, perhaps even if it's a breezy day, or hearing the breeze in the trees. And it may make us pause and be present with that.
You know, heading into nature and savoring my surroundings does sound very similar to what I experience on a hike. How would you say that forest bathing is different from taking a hike?
I feel like when we're hiking, there's sometimes this destination, or it's like, I'm going out on a hike, so we want to get there. Mm-hmm. And we sometimes want to be moving our body quickly so we can get some exercise. And forest bathing is about being right where you are and noticing the nature beings around you, the tiny things, the little details of the leaves or the pine cones, or the big things, the mountain range in the distance. And it's allowing yourself to pause, to actually be with these nature beings that are really precious and interesting and fascinating and beautiful.
Now, you take clients on immersive 3-hour sessions in places like Flagstaff Mountain in Boulder. How effective is forest bathing when it's done in your backyard or in a neighborhood park?
That's a great question. It really is effective. I feel the 3-hour immersions are a wonderful amount of time to really drop in and feel the deeper effects, perhaps. But taking time to be in your backyard, to sit under a tree, or to notice what's in motion, or to notice the smells or the textures of the ground or the tree, it's really connecting. So it's awakening. When we awaken our senses, we become alive. If we remember being children, being in our senses and connected into our surroundings. And this practice can really support us in waking up our bodies, our senses. So even in your backyard, even at a park, you can notice the nature that's around you, and it will most likely calm your nervous system. It may help you take a deeper breath. It may just help you feel like restored.
You talked with our producer about how Many of the clients you work with are professionals in their 20s and 30s, and they use forest bathing to unplug from their devices or their jobs. What does spending time in nature do for them?
Well, I feel it really does restore our creativity. It supports us in deep relaxation. And I think it really rejuvenates us that there's more to life than these screens that we happen to be on quite a bit. There tends
True.
to be this opening of wow, and oh, I really needed that, very rejuvenating. And it brings a sense of oneness with the natural world that maybe they didn't realize.
Let's talk about another forest bathing technique, Darlene. You talked to our producer about sitting or pausing in a natural area and just noticing which of your senses is most alive, whether that's hearing a bird chirp or smelling some pine trees. What is powerful about this exercise?
Again, it's about paying attention and giving ourselves that time, even a few moments, to notice what you're noticing with those senses. If I walk out on my deck, take a seat, and notice whatever sense that is. Maybe it's the birds, it's in the morning and the birds are singing. And if I allow myself to stop and just for a few minutes to listen to the birds, wow, that feels really different. So there's this, it feels nourishing to me. It feels like I'm paying attention to these beings that are in my yard every day, but now I'm noticing them. And it feels like a gift.
What's your favorite place to practice forest bathing and why?
Oh, that's a tricky question for me, I have to say, because really, I feel like anywhere, maybe that's not a good answer, but um, anywhere that there is nature, which is everywhere. Sometimes I'm walking down the street and the roses on someone's yard or by the fence, and I have to stop and feel this rose and smell this rose and take a moment of that day. I'm just like, oh, there it is. It could also be a big immersive experience. I was just in the redwood forest in California, and wow, what an amazing place to practice forest bathing. So it can also be on that big scale of wow, but it doesn't have to be. And that's what I love about this practice. It really can be with a house plant. Like you can notice the colors and the shapes and the patterns of a houseplant and feel that attention and that effect of calm.
That's Darlene Rooney Keller of Nature Heals Forest Therapy in Longmont, who spoke with me last fall about forest bathing. It's a practice that helps people unplug and reconnect with nature. And although winter is here, no need to worry. Darlene told us you can use these techniques in cold weather just as easily as warm. So bundle up and unplug. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Thanks so much for listening.